am pleased to participate in the Nigerian South African National Commission, BNC, for the first time. May this edition of BNC be both productive and resourceful and historic. My love for this event is born of the storied and proud history of Nigeria, South African relationship, which has since been very strong since the end of apartheid and the birth of true democracy in this great country. Nigeria's contribution to that epic struggle represent noble and outstanding moments in our foreign policy and the history of our continent. The evolution role as a leading nation in this continent would believe in democracy, freedom, and equity. You have achieved this as our sister country. You deserve the freedom and justice, not the discrimination and suppression to which that terrible subject had been. Nigerians from all walks of life were mobilized in unity. I'm very happy to share with you the joy of freedom and democracy. It was for us historic responsibility that we discharged with pride and determination. As was expected, our effort put to Nigeria on collision course with some powerful countries, but nevertheless, we were proud to be our brother's keeper, and that South Africa is our serious brother in such a critical time. This is the essence of brotherhood. We seek for this continent to stay side by side for the liberation, non-discrimination, for democratic good governance in support of the best and legitimate aspirations of the people. Just as we stood with you, we shall always bear in remembrance how South Africa was with us at a critical moment of our struggle against military regime. I say thank you once again. At my inauguration as president, my dear brother, you are one of the first to show support and be our guest at my inauguration ceremony. Once again, I say thank you very much. I'm equally pleased to have been part of the historic event that your inauguration after your re-election as president. I also recall that you took time out of your busy schedule to have meaningful discussion with me in collaboration to advance the development of Africa. Our discussion that day and our deliberations today, due to honor a tradition established between our two nations, as successful governments on both sides have accorded due to recognition to our shared history of collaboration and cooperation. We must ensure that the spirit of the collaboration and cooperation between our two leading countries in Africa will intensify and deepen under our leadership of our respective nations. This is not a matter of choice, but of destiny that include an historical responsibility that we hold the African people. The BNC has been in existence since 1999, with some 3 dozen MOU and agreement already in operation. The BNC has really come of age. But I must, however, sound a note of caution here. Let us not count on successes by number of MOUs and agreements signed. They will be mere papers until we implement them in spirit and in letter. The job of our senior officials will only achieve the desired goal if we did very well in implementation. I'm pleased to know that this framework has achieved a lot. My desire is that we will accelerate the aspect that relates to youth development. Beyond natural resources, our most precious resource is the large and youthful population that exists in both our countries. These young people represent the future. They are the demography that must be tended, invested in, and have their skill and potential harvested for development and the goals of the continent. My administration built an inclusive government in which young people are now in charge of some of the key sectors of the economy. Believing the future for them must start now. Let us connect Nigerian youth and the South African youth and leverage their potential for development. Many South African companies such as MTN, MultiChoice, have found their way into the Nigerian market, while Dangote, Access Bank, and others financial institutions have also entered the South African market. But that's not enough. I cannot pretend that all this is gone perfectly well. I ever believe we can identify the gaps and challenges, including persistent irritation in relations, and deal with them appropriately. To me, this is the real essence of BNC. Together, we can act as engines of economic integration, development in our prospective sub-regions, as well as on the continent. We also have a strong role to play in the successful implementation of the free trade areas. The continent looks up to us, and we cannot afford to fail them. We need to leverage the potential of the partnership to strengthen economic, political, business, and other areas of political collaboration. Our success will change the negative narrative of seeing Africa as a continent marred by poverty, conflict, without leaders to offer the kind of transformation, reform the continent deserves. You and I will not let that go. As the adage goes, the glory of the eagle does not please the kite. Let us remain mindful of the overt and covert hostilities that the success of our partnership will attract. If we are vigilant, committed, and persistent, we will surely soar like the eagles over the reach of predators. So we must remain strongly united on purpose. Mr. President, one thing I would like this edition of the PSC to explore is the possible need to establish an anti-illegal mining group in the African nations. Our natural resources are supposed to be mined for betterment of our people. However, this seems to be fragmented to a concerted effort flowing in the opposite direction. Throughout Africa, illegal mining is not only robbing our nations of precious income, which could foster development. Sponsored by powerful outside forces, such mining is fomenting strife, servitude, poverty, environmental degradation, and undermining the reach of legitimacy in governance. We cannot allow this inland piracy to become a scourge to our good and healthy design for our people. South Africa and Nigeria should and must take the lead to placing this issue before the global community and resolving it for the good of African continent and its people. Nigeria would like to join South Africa and the African Union in the G20. Congratulations, my friend. You are now the president of G20 group of nations. As South Africa assumes the presidency, we urge that the position be leveraged for the development of our continent. This high-level strategic partnership between South Africa and us must become a model of leadership and shared vision that will inspire and take our people into a brighter and greater future of prosperity and development in Africa. That is what we want. That's what we are here to pledge. I thank you for listening.